Hi there, my name is Andrea Menard, and I'm here to introduce you to Sacred Children, an Aboriginal Parent Education Resource Kit. This important program discusses some of our common concerns about parenting in today's world. The wisdom of our elders will tell you about our traditional ways, and evidence-based information from our contemporary communities will help you deal with communication, self-esteem, nutrition, discipline, and bullying. Too many people grow up not feeling good about themselves. In this chapter, you'll hear about ways to help boost your child's self-esteem.
I think a child has to have a strong sense of identity because they need to know where they fit in society. And before you can fit in society, you need to have your own cultural values in place that keep you strong. Like the spiritual component is really important. Ceremonies like pipe ceremonies and sweat lodges for parents to support them and keep their spirit strong. That's really critical because it's such a physical world out there. You're always reacting to, where's the food, in terms of your family, that it's good to have that spiritual base. And I think the little kids, the earlier that you teach them that spiritual base, the stronger they will be as they grow, and they can deal with whatever racism might be coming towards them in the school system. And always feeling proud that they're Métis, they understand their values, they know their elders, they know the elders' teachings. I think that's really, really important. And unconditional love is actually one of the sacred teachings of the medicine wheel. And it has 3 components. And number 1 is to love yourself. And that's what we teach the little children, the parents, even though if they're struggling to love themselves. The second component is to love your brother as yourself or your friend. And, we teach good relations. There may be hardships in families, but we teach good relations because that's the brotherly love. And the third component is to love creation. So with those teachings, we accept people as they are. If they're struggling and hurting, we try and help them through that process with a lot of empathy. And empathy can be another word for love and understanding.
To honor our children, I think the important thing here is to, rather than to say my children, I think we need to change that mind into as a gift. These children are a gift for us to look after them. The important thing as an adult or a role model is to recognize that and reinforcing what the child is doing. The word reinforcing, constant reinforcing what the child is doing, because when you accomplish something, when you're doing something, say you got an exam and you got an 80 plus, you need to enforce that by saying, hey, you're really doing good. Not monetary, you don't use money for, that's not a cultural thing. You reinforce that by saying, boy, you're really, really doing good. Even that gets instilled in the mind, and that person is going to continue doing some wonderful things.
Communication is an area of parenting that relates to everything you do with your child. This chapter will help you learn how to communicate better with your children.
All the 4 aspects of a person, like the mental, the emotional, the physical, and the spiritual, they're all means of communication that we have for anybody that we come into contact with. And how you present that to our children is very important.
Consultation, the word consultation is very important word for communicating to our children. You need to sit them down and make sure it's important what we're saying here. This is all we have. This is what we have to live with. To make sure that that is instilled in the little human being's mind. And we need to live with that. There's a lot of sacrifice that needs to happen. That's reality of today's families. So we need to sacrifice maybe a couple of nights of not going anyplace. So what do we do to replace not going anyplace? We think as adults of an alternative activity for these children so that they are not focused on that one thing. Very important for a parent now to be able to communicate that to the offspring so that they'll understand.
When children eat well, they feel better, and that makes it easier for them to behave. Learn about how to improve nutrition for you and your children in this next chapter.
One of the only things we can really control is our own bodies and what we put in our bodies. And so we're reclaiming our health through food sovereignty by deciding to put healthy, nutritious, local foods rather than processed, sugar, high in fat, saturated fast foods. So food sovereignty is a very personal issue that we're reclaiming our own health individually, and as tribes and as nations, we're reclaiming our rights to our indigenous foods. I think starting with very young children, getting them out in the land, learning about their native foods, because many urban communities, native folks, they just don't know what their traditional foods look like or taste like. So getting people out on the land on field trips and young people involved with education to identify these native foods, learn how to cook them, learn how to, feast them and enjoy them. I think it's so important, and it's happening everywhere. Native foods are sacred to us. They come from our Creator. They come from our creation stories. These are our older brothers, our older sisters, these foods. They're talked about by our elders as a relative. And that's completely different from this worldview that we have as food as just a commodity to be consumed, and it has no meaning or spiritual value. It's just mechanical, almost like putting gas in your car. You just shove fast food in your body so that you can rush off to your next thing. And we need to change that. And that's what the slow food movement is part of, slowing down and cooking your food, growing your food, digesting your food. All those things take time, and we need strategies to support organic farmers, traditional gatherers, so that they can stay on the land.
We've been at it now for about, I'd say 5 years, trying to build gardens as a way to teach skills, to build capacity within the community around food security. We have a high number of our families in the community that are living either on social assistance or are very low income, and they struggle every day with the food issues. So we looked at a number of ways. We had started with a good food box program, which gave them, a short supply middle of the month, and then decided that that wasn't enough. So we wanted to create sustainable skills, ways to help them help themselves. And gardening was one of the avenues that we chose because it creates a number of things in the family. It's a way for the families to work together. It's a way to build skills, and it creates a sustainable food supply. Our gardeners range from 4 to 65 years old, and we are working together as groups and teaching our children by practice and example, and helping them learn together. The skill of gardening won't just be in one corner of their life, won't be just around food, it'll be about other aspects, because it doesn't stay restricted. Like you take that skill and you stretch it into another aspect when you're looking at what do you want to do with your life. You know, like, well, I've been able to do this successfully. It reaches out, the success wraps around everything that they're doing. So multi-generational learning is really important to us, because our family groups are important, and it is traditional practice as well. The children were shaped by their parents, and when you raise a child, you should help them shape their future and what you want them to become. You look at the skills that they need to be a sustainable, productive person, and that's also what happens through the gardening project, is they build skills and do it together. It's enjoyable, it's fun.
Being consistent with discipline isn't always easy, but our traditional ways are full of wisdom to help you with this.
Mani, miti matari miulu, abang miulu ajigi mata. Tapakuti tu nakauji macam mani miuti tu kauji mangin nasagama inyusingini. Tapani miu tahu mali, nyutara pero paleli sakti lugu kauji mati lugu, kauji mati paleli lugu, inyo kati mini lugu pichar naktigar lugu. Tamakua inyusichian. Pibali lugi pero paleti lugu. Tapani tiana inyo sa kalawata.
Ngay doagle o kau te kata ama tame. Nu kami ni tok sudah sok tuara kung itak. Kesian tok sudah ada ungin nakit. Tok sudah ada ungin nakit, tok sudah kata kung imiyak, tok sudah kata tu minit. Ang ayok kami ni sini katang mat. Pero sa tiang ningit. Pero sa tiang tu minit lo. Isi masuk kita juwini gad jiging mata. Amma nutaka ni anu kaya siang ni tutama anu kaya kutu pirok sa ni kun itawaru luti iwaru luti ping mata. Isi masuk kita juwini.
Okayak tu nga, lamat ko nga, ayok okakayak tu nga, kano utaka kayok mga ada, kano pamakay kayok mga ada, kano nagdiguhuyok mga ada, kaya akalugli okaw utakayak tu nga, magkutuni. Kaya utaka kayok matanya akalug. Kaya iliyo lugi tau tu lalu lugi niya okakatigi lugi okaw tiyaga ni tukihiyak mata induk titu tukihiyak kaya ali okaw itakayak tu nga at igi kitsama lugi utak kati ataw halo ni hanya wakimangi lugi kaya ali okaw itakayak tu.
The Mi'kmaq way of teaching kids is through the families. Everybody within your family, who is older than you are, has the right to correct you. Doesn't have the right to beat you up, doesn't have the right to deprive you of supper. They don't have the right to take room from you, because we believe taking something that sustains you for life, like food and stuff like that, you can't do that. They never do that. They'll feed the children and then isolate them if they want to. And with her heart that a mother has for their children, they will never hurt a child.
We need to create an activity that all the family members here participate, namely the parent and the grandparents. Now, when we talk about recapturing our culture, we need to respect where we are. I think that is very important to talk about self-esteem. You're not negligent in the way you're cleaning after yourself. You're leaving. So that makes you a proud little fellow or a proud little human being having accomplished that. The important thing as an adult or a role model is to recognize that and reinforcing what the child is doing. The word reinforcing, constant reinforcing what the child is doing. The word don't is a very damaging word for our little children. It seems to me that every time we do something or reinforce something, the word don't do that, don't do that. And what kind of a life is that? You know, when you see a little child do something, reinforce what they're doing, help them accomplish it, because no doubt they're going to make a mistake anyway. Instead of you telling them don't, that goes on forever. They never learn anything from that, other than for you to go and reinforce it, to go and help them accomplish that.
Bullying has become a problem everywhere. Listen to the suggestions to stop bullying and even prevent it from happening.
What happens to both people that get bullied and the people that are bullying? What happens to both of them? Like something happens to them spiritually. It attacks their spirituality. And also it brings feelings that aren't very good, and these feelings are going to affect them right now, and also it's going to affect them in the near future with their parenting. Because bullying is not a very good feeling, and bullying is a form of misuse of power and control. And a lot of times the children don't even know they're bullying. They don't even know that, taking things away from children. And that's bullying. Pushing somebody, that's bullying. And not respecting the person's space, that's bullying also. Like there's many forms. But at the same time, when we talk about bullying, when we talk to the children, we bring them to a safe place. We bring them out, maybe out in a bush. We could even bring them in the teepee and talk to them there, where they're wide open. There's no comfort zones. They're taken away from their comfort zone, and they're taken. And they tell us, like our elders tell us, if you want to heal, you go back to the land. You sit on Mother Earth. And when you sit on Mother Earth, your ears open up. You see things different, and you're able to talk, because there's nothing there to cause you to try to get sarcastic or anything. Eh? Like you teach them their culture, and all the more you teach them about culture, they don't have time to want to be bullied because they feel good about themselves. You have a choice not to get angry, or to get angry and be just as hurtful as this person. But at the same time, not to take that kind of garbage to tell this person that you're going to tell, and then you tell somebody, and then we'll come into a full circle. We'll talk about that. My form of respect is accepting one another for who we are. Like to accept things that we can change. We can change ourselves. We can change our own attitudes. And if we listen, we can change things real easy if we listen to what people are saying. But if we don't listen, we pass that on to our children. We pass it on to our grandchildren.
I hope the wisdom presented has encouraged you in your jobs as parents. Raising your children is the most important job there is. Using the gifts the elders have given you in this presentation, you can work towards becoming the best parents you are capable of being, with the support of our traditions, our ceremonies, our languages, and our elders' wisdom. With the support of these gifts and our Creator, I know you can do it.